Donald Trump and King Charles, two figures shaped by entirely different traditions, yet brought together under the weight of history and expectation. Their relationship first captured global attention during the 2019 state visit to the United Kingdom, a moment carefully orchestrated by Queen Elizabeth II. It was not just a visit, it was a spectacle, a ceremonial welcome, a state banquet at Buckingham Palace, private conversations behind closed doors, and the constant gaze of the world's media. Outside the palace gates, crowds gathered in fascination, while protests reminded everyone that this meeting was as political as it was symbolic. Amid all of this, Trump sat down with the then Prince of Wales, a meeting that would quietly define the tone of their relationship for years to come. It was not dramatic, not confrontational, but it was revealing. Inside those private rooms, the conversation turned quickly to climate change. It was not a passing topic, but one that lingered. Trump later acknowledged how much of their time was spent on it, a detail that spoke volumes. For King Charles III, environmental advocacy has never been a side interest. It has been a lifelong commitment, something he has spoken about long before it became politically urgent. Trump, by contrast, has approached the issue with skepticism, often questioning its scale and impact. This difference was not hidden, nor was it resolved. It simply existed, setting a quiet but firm boundary between them. Yet what stands out is not conflict, but restraint. There was no public clash, no visible tension, just two men, aware of their differences, choosing diplomacy over discord. Despite that divide, Trump has consistently expressed admiration for the British monarchy. He has spoken of it with a sense of awe, drawn to its history, its ceremony, and its enduring symbolism. For him, meetings with the royal family were not routine political engagements, but moments of prestige. There is, however, a noticeable absence of personal warmth. No shared hobbies, no visible bond beyond formal interaction. What exists instead is a careful respect. News coverage at the time reflected this balance, describing their exchanges as polite but measured. It is not a relationship built on friendship, but on awareness. Each understands the other's position and, perhaps more importantly, the limits of that connection. The contrast becomes sharper when looking at what each man represents. King Charles moves within the structured, symbolic world of a constitutional monarchy, where every word and gesture carries meaning. Trump operates in a different space entirely, defined by directness, unpredictability, and a willingness to challenge convention. This is not a personal divide, but a philosophical one. It reflects two distinct approaches to leadership, two ways of engaging with the public, and two visions of influence. When Charles became king, that contrast did not disappear. It simply evolved. The dynamic shifted from president and prince to two heads of state, bringing with it a more formal tone and a clearer framework. Publicly, the respect remained intact. Privately, the differences continued to exist, unchanged. Now, as discussions turn to the possibility of a royal visit to the United States, the focus is no longer on personalities, but on purpose. Such visits are never merely ceremonial. They are shaped by governments, guided by diplomacy, and designed to reinforce a relationship that extends far beyond any individual. Between Donald Trump and King Charles, what exists is neither alliance nor opposition. It is something more nuanced, a relationship defined by contrast, sustained by protocol, and anchored in a shared understanding of responsibility. They may not see the world in the same way, but both recognize the importance of maintaining the connection between their nations. In the end, it is not about agreement, it is about continuity.